Morning, Houston. We have made it to the weekend, and boy, oh boy, are we going to get rewarded with an absolutely beautiful one. Have you made it outside so far this morning? If you have, maybe to get the mail or check in on the dog, go on a little walk. It's chilly. It's a chilly start to the day. In fact, Conroe broke into the 30s about an hour ago. It was sitting at around 38 degrees. 41 degrees right now. Tomball is at 48, so still quite cool out there. 49 for Bush. Sugar Land has broken into the low 50s. It is going to be full steam ahead. That sunshine starting to gain some height up in the sky, and it is certainly going to warm us up very nicely today, above average where we should be for this time of year. Heads up, we're headed to the low to mid 80s. 54 degrees right now at Hobby. Pearland, good morning to you. You're at 49 degrees. That is an 8-degree drop from where we were yesterday, so continue to cool off, but only for this morning. Tomorrow will feel much more mild from start to finish. We'll talk about why that is. Already we're seeing dew point improvements. Yesterday afternoon we were in the 20s. That air was very dry. Wind is nice and light, so the change already is that we're stopping in that very dry breeze that we've had the last couple of days from the northwest. It's now subsided, and it's going to pick up steam later this afternoon and especially into tomorrow, but instead of the northwest, is now going to shift out of the south. You know what that means. We're going to pump in that Gulf moisture. So already seeing improvements to the fire weather risk for today. A lot of a viewing area is now out of it. However, our far western counties, parts of our northern counties too, still under that red flag warning, that fire risk for today. So just bear that in mind. It starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, lasts through 7 this evening. That includes Grimes, Washington, Austin, Waller, and Colorado counties. That just means that fuels are so dry, the air is still on the dry side and it's still on the breezy side for these spots, which means if something sparks up, a fire can ignite quickly, and because of the wind, it can spread quickly. So it's just an extra precaution to have as you're enjoying what is going to be a beautiful Saturday. Let me walk you through it hour by hour. So already breaking into the 60s by the time we'll be watching KHOU 11 Morning News with Lauren Talarico. She's back from vacation, and we'll have all of your weather updates for this week and all your news updates too. All right, we'll get into the upper 60s just an hour later, upper 70s by the time you're enjoying lunch, probably outdoors, because who wouldn't want to spend their Saturday outdoors when it looks like this? Temperatures in the low 80s, and I think we're going to bump it up to right around 85 degrees between 4 and 5 o'clock to make your afternoon high temperature, and then under clear skies to start off the evening, but more cloud cover building in by the late morning, and that is going to keep temperatures nice and mild as you're waking up tomorrow. But let's talk about today. What are your plans? You might be a fan favorite in your family if you suggest Galveston, because you can't go wrong. It's going to be beautiful up there. Temperatures in the upper 70s, and the water nice and warm too. So if you're headed down to the island, it's going to be lovely. That southerly breeze at 10 to 15 miles an hour means we're just pumping in a little bit more moisture, making it feel a little bit more comfortable, because that's what moisture does. It just makes it feel a little bit less dry and a little bit less cool. So upper 70s is going to feel great, especially as we start to add in just a little bit more moisture. Sunny and dry for today, mid 80s like we talked about the high, but look at the discrepancy between the low this morning, 46, and the low for tomorrow morning, almost a 20-degree uptick. And the reason for that is going to be the southerly breeze. It stays with us all throughout Sunday, and it really ramps up as we head into the overnight hours. This afternoon, we'll start to see it pick up. Tomorrow, we'll start to see it really gain intensity. For right now, wind is nice and calm. We're in the transition phase. This afternoon, already starting to pump in some of that Gulf moisture, but the breeze is nice and mild, 10 to 15 miles an hour. By tomorrow, though, it's going to feel downright windy with sustained wind at 20 to 25 miles an hour, and that will really set the stage for some systems that are going to move in this coming work week. It's going to take that moisture that we build in for tomorrow and start to organize it into some shower activity. The first notable change, check it out, we're going from the dew points that are in the 30s and 40s for today, bumping it all the way up into the low 70s. That is downright muggy. a little bit of a tropical feel even. So you'll certainly feel the changes that are going to arise the next couple of days. No rain chance for today. Tomorrow I just have a 10% chance, and the only reason for that is because we've got the moisture, we've got the cloud cover, so you might feel a little sprinkle, but it won't be until the start of the work week that we really ramp up those rain chances. A little rain chance Monday, Tuesday, especially Tuesday night into Wednesday. That's going to be our big rain chance. All right, why are we experiencing the weather we're experiencing? Well, right now we've got a blocking pattern. High pressure steers all the systems to the north of us, but it is going to start to move to the east and break down, and that will allow for this low pressure area to usher in a little wave of energy that's going to bring us our rain chances. So first, on Monday, it looks very spotty. Most of it's going to miss us, but by Tuesday, it starts to become a little bit more organized. That's a snapshot of Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Some light to moderate rain showers. Overnight, we start to see the yellow and the oranges start to creep in, tracking a little bit to the east for us. But still, our best chance to see the wet weather will be overnight Tuesday into Wednesday, some lingering showers into Thursday, but pretty light in nature. So that means rain totals not very significant so far. We're hoping that we could see some of that rain accumulate day after day because we are headed into a rather wet pattern. We need the moisture, especially given the drought conditions and given the windy and dry, persistent pattern that's kept us under that red flag warning for back-to-back days. So we can certainly get all the moisture we are receiving, and we'll be watching and hoping that a little bit of that tracks towards the west and gets into our viewing area. But for right now, rainfall for a couple of spots looking to just be trace amounts to maybe 1/100th of an inch of rain. A couple of areas will get a little bit more moisture, especially further to our east and our northeastern counties, part of Montgomery there, part of San Jacinto, Polk, and Liberty. Could get between a half an inch to maybe closer to an inch of rainfall. And that's as we get into Wednesday and accumulate all of that. And that should also bring us some relief to the pollen that has been setting records all week long, especially talking about the oak pollen. For this weekend though, still going to be on the very high side. Grasses and weeds will be moderate, mold spores are low. So by now you kind of know the drill. Take your allergy medication before you head outdoors, and if it's really been bothering you, try to limit your time outdoors. You don't want to be doing exercise outside, so either go to the gym or maybe do an indoor workout. If you need to mow the lawn, ask a family member that isn't struggling with allergies, or maybe one of your neighbors. And then instead of washing your car yourself, just take it to the car wash. You don't want any of that pollen to be blown back at you. I know my car is white and then looks a little bit on the yellow side because of that pollen. All right, your 7-day forecast shows us temperatures are actually going to be a little bit above average for every day. We're going to go from the mid 80s today, low 80s tomorrow, back up to the mid 80s. Our warmest day rather, the 7-day forecast will be on Wednesday, 86. And then we'll see a cool front push through after that, but dropping temperatures only ever so slightly into the low 80s for Thursday and for Friday. All right, our models are refreshing. We're going to have a nice update for you coming up on the 9 o'clock hour here on the KHOU 11 Morning News. We'll see you back here with Lauren Tallarico. Otherwise, make it a fantastic weekend.